Welcome back, everyone. We will be looking at a new chapter, chapter number 9, in this series of segments. The idea is it's a continuation. As I said, chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all of that, it's one block of performance measurement by and of itself. What we do in chapter 9 is essentially, or rather, if I give you the gist, what happened was that in chapter 8, we looked at overall company. We looked at how do we analyze financial performance of a profit seeking organization when you're looking at the entire organization, and it could be a organization with many subsidiaries. So the consolidated view, the complete view, the full view, the overview. But in chapter number 9, we will be looking at the business more closely, especially focusing on the divisions individually. So the chapter in itself is divisional performance appraisal and transfer pricing. So this is a company. What you have to understand at the outset itself is that this is a company which has divisions, and you have different words. It could be subsidiaries, it could be strategic business units. Any word that you use, if a business, if a large conglomerate or a multinational company has different subdivisions, which we generally discussed in chapter 4 as divisional structures, then that is what we are analyzing now. We are looking at the internal divisions individually. Now, of course, this is going to create some problems because what we looked at in chapter 4 was that functional structures, essentially, or even network structures for the most part, if it's a single entity, it has a centralized leadership, right? Leadership is central. It's coming from one place, all the directives. So there is more coherence. But there are other challenges to it that we looked at. But with divisional performance, what happens is, or divisional businesses that have been broken into divisions, you generally see a decentralized approach where each division has its own leadership. They have their own free will. To a limited extent, they have autonomy to decide how exactly they want to run, and their responsibilities differ. So this is what brings some of the changes and difficulties when you are trying to discuss divisional structures. In summation, there are few challenges. One is that coordination of divisions to achieve the overall corporate objectives is heavily required. So because there is in a central structure, you don't have this problem because everything is connected to that central body, perhaps the board of directors. But when you have divisional structures and individual or separate divisional leadership, there has to be good coordination, and this can be a challenge. Dysfunctional behavior and suboptimal divisional decisions are made all the time because the divisional leadership is focused on the divisional performance and their rewards. And most of the time, divisional performance is what drives the rewards of the people who are working for that division. So they don't necessarily have to, worry about the entire company or other divisions or the relationship with other divisions, things like this. So you can get kind of focused on your division itself. This is a challenge, and therefore you may make dysfunctional behaviors, or you may show dysfunctional behaviors, or make suboptimal decisions that are not really good for the entire company. Controllability is a concern because the divisional managers generally should only be held accountable for factors that they can control. And sometimes it's not exactly that straightforward, and there may be elements within the divisional performance, or how the performance of divisional managers and divisional executives, how the performance is measured, that has elements of non-controllability or out of their control in them, and that may discourage them. There may be issues like that. Interdependence of divisions making performance measurement difficult because most of the time, even if you break a business down, there may be many aspects, many areas like transfer pricing, which we will be looking at, where different divisions are interconnected, that there are relationships that you cannot really break down, cut down, that you cannot really isolate divisions and measure their performance. When you are measuring performance of a particular division, that may mean very well that, of course, this has something to do with another division. Now, in such a case, to separate divisional performance is a difficult task, and therefore rewarding also. How to reapportion head office costs. So there may be common costs. You've looked at this kind of example at a basic level in absorption costing of cost allocation. So exactly how do you really reapportion head office costs? What is the correct basis? Because if you do too much, then that particular division, especially if it's a revenue center, then they might, or profit center, they might actually feel quite bad and react poorly. And how to set transfer prices, this is another challenge, especially in the situations where divisions are trading with each other, where they're selling to each other, selling and buying between each other. Then determining that right price is a challenge, which is something that we will be looking at. So overall, when you think about the chapter content in itself, the chapter content looks at how do we really address many of these challenges. What do we do? Or in some portions, we will be looking at how some of these problems are actually expressed or manifested, and on the other end, we look at what kind of solutions we have. So on that note, I will see you soon. Thank you and good luck.